Hello, welcome to the origin and evolution of the earth. Do you remember the nursery rhyme? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I love this poem. Stars have been always fascinated us. Lots of questions arises in mind. From where stars come? Why they twinkle? Let us know all about the universe in this chapter. So let us start with the early stories regarding the earth. A large number of hypotheses were put forth by different philosophers and scientists regarding the origin of the earth. One of the earlier and popular argument was given by German philosopher Immanuel Kant. Mathematician Laplace revised it in 1796, which is known as nebular hypothesis. 5 billion years ago, there was a giant spinning cloud of gas and dust. The core of the cloud grew more denser and hotter. Eventually, the increase in temperature generated enough energy to trigger out the nuclear fusion. This nuclear fusion gave birth to sun. The lighter gas swept away and leaving the heavy metal or the dust near to the sun. Molten metal and dust particles struck together to form rock. Mutual gravity caused these rocks to come together to form a planet. Chamberlain and Moulton considered that a wandering star approached the sun. As a result, a cigar shape over here, you can see the cigar shape extension of material was separated from the solar space surface. As the passing star moved away, the material separated from the solar space and continued to revolve around the sun. As it is argued at the later date, the argument considered as a companion to the sun which was coexisting. Those hypotheses or the scientists who believe that the earth sun was coexisting comes under binary theory. In 1950, Otto Smith in Russia and Charles Wesker in Germany somewhat received the nebular hypothesis through differing in detail. They considered that the sun was surrounded by solar nebula containing mostly of hydrogen and helium, along with what may be termed as dust. The friction and the collision of particle led to the formation of dish-shaped cloud, and the planet were formed through the process of accretion. Accretion over here is the process of growth when all the matter started coming together and forming into a planet. Modern theory, however, scientists in later period took up the problem of origin of Earth, not only Earth but the universe as well. So the most popular argument which was regarding the origin of the universe was the Big Bang. It is also known as expanding universe hypothesis, which was given by Edwin Hubble in 1920. Then he provided that universe is expanding as time passes, galaxies move further and further apart. You can experiment with the help of a balloon. Take a balloon, mark points on the balloon. It will, when you will start blowing it, it will appear to be moving away from each other. And this is same in the case of galaxy. Galaxies are also moving away from each other. So we have a proof that the universe is expanding. The Big Bang Theory considered the following stages. In the beginning, all the matter, whatever is in the universe, star, planet, everything was in this single ball, single tiny ball, which is known as singularity or the single atom with with a small volume and infinite temperature, infinite density. At the Big Bang, the tiny ball exploded violently. This led to the huge expansion. It is now generally accepted that the event of Big Bang took place 13.7 billion years before the present. The expansion continues even to the present day. As it grew, some energy was converted into matter. There was particularly rapid expansion within the friction of a second after a bang. Thereafter, the expansion has slowed down with the first 3 minutes from the Big Bang event. The first atom began to form. Within 3 lakh years from the Big Bang, temperature dropped to 4,500 Kelvin and gave rise to the atomic matter. The universe became transparent. You can see over here the universe started becoming transparent, and the points are also increasing. The distance is also increasing. But there are some who believes like Hoyle. According to him, the universe is steady. It is in a steady state. The star formation, the distribution of matter and energy was not even in the early universe. The initial density differences gave rise to the differences in gravitational forces, and it caused the matter to get drawn together. These form the base for development of galaxy. Galaxy contains A large number of stars, galaxies spread over vast distance. They are measured in thousands of light years. The diameter of individual galaxy ranges from 80,000 to 150,000 light years. A galaxy stars formed by accumulation of hydrogen and helium gases, a very large cloud, and in the middle there is a nebula. Eventually growing nebula develop localized clumps of gases. These are clumps of gases which are denser gaseous body, giving rise to the formation of star. The formation of star is believed to be have taken place some 5 to 6 billion years ago. A light year is measured in distance and not in time. Light travels at the speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second. The mean distance between the sun and the earth is termed in light years only, and that is 8.311 minute of a year. Formation of planet. The following are considered to be the stages of the development of the planet. The stars are localized lumps. So in the same way, these are also a localized lumps of dust. In the next stage, the gas cloud starts getting condensed and matter around the core develop into a small rounded object. This small rounded object, by the process of cohesion, develop into what it is called planetesimal. Planetesimals are the smaller bodies of the planet, which in the third stage, they started coming together with the accrete to form a few large body in the form of planet. Our solar system, you know about our solar system, that we have 8 planets and many moons with the asteroids, comets, and lots of dust, grains, and gases. We have 8 planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are the inner planet. These are rocky planet. This is also known as terrestrial, because terrestrial means Earth-like body structure, which is separated with the asteroid belt. And after that, we have other 4 planets, and these 4 planets are known as Jovian planet or the gas like planet. And these are mm, um, um, not and these are bigger in size as well. This, and over here you can see it is quite visible that the size of outer planet are bigger than these inner planet. So the terrestrial planet are formed in the closer vicinity of the sun star, where it is too warm or gases to condense to solid particles. Jovian planets are formed at a quite distance of the location. The solar wind was most intense near to the sun, that it blew out all the hydrogen and helium from here, and due to which similar removal of gases form the jovial planet. The terrestrial planet are smaller, you can see here, and was not able to hold these escaping gases. The moon. The moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth-like origin of the Earth. So it is believed that the moon was the part of the Earth only, a dumb bell-shaped body of eventually it broke from the Earth. It was also suggested that the material of moon was separated from the present depression, which is a Pacific. So scientists do not believe in this theory. Rather than they believe in the impact of giant impact, where with a big splat. They believe that there was a Theia which was 3 times bigger than the Mars. It collided with the Earth and blasted its lots of material, and which started orbiting around the Earth. And with the time, it got condensed into moon. And the present moon is about 4.44 billion years old. Evolution of the Earth. Do you know that the planet Earth initially was a barren, rocky, and hot object with a thin atmosphere of hydrogen and helium? This is far from the present day picture of the Earth. Hence, there must have been some even process which may have caused these changes from rocky, barren, and hot Earth to the beautiful planet. So in the following section, you will find out that between 4,600 million year and the present, what was the scenario going on. The Earth has a layer structure. if you will notice that the heavy material is in the core, then lighter is above that. Then in the same way, the most lighter material is our atmosphere, which is surrounding the earth. Development of lithosphere. The earth was mostly in a volatile state during the primordial stage. Due to gradual increase in density, the temperature inside has increased. As a result, the material inside started getting separated depending on their density. This allowed a heavier material to sink toward the center of the earth, and the lighter one to move upward. Now, coming to the evolution of the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. There are three stages. The first stage is marked by losing of primordial atmosphere, whereas in stage, the hot interior of the earth considered to the evolution and atmosphere. This is also known as degassing, from where the gases from the interior of the earth started moving out and started forming the atmosphere. And in the final stage, the photosynthesis contributed the gases into the atmosphere. The early atmosphere with hydrogen and helium is supposed to have been stripped off as a result of the solar wind. This happened not only in case of earth but also in case of terrestrial planets, which were supposed to have lots of primordial atmosphere through the impact of the solar wind. During the cooling of the earth, gases and water vapor were released out from the interior of the earth. This started the evolution of the present atmosphere. The early atmosphere largely contained water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and very little of free oxygen. The process through which the gases are outpouring from the interior of the earth is called degassing. As the earth cooled, the water vapor release started getting condensed. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere got dissolved in the rainwater, and the temperature further decreased, causing more condensation and more rain. Condensation is the forming of cloud, and precipitation is the rain. The rainwater started collecting in the depression, which gave rise to the ocean. The earth ocean were formed within 5,000 billion years from the formation of the earth. This tells us that the ocean are as old as 4,000 billion years. Sometime around 3,800 million years ago, life began to evolve. However, around 2,500 to 3,000 million years before the present, the process of photosynthesis got evolved. Life was confined to the ocean for a long time. Ocean began to have a contribution of oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. Eventually, ocean were saturated with oxygen, and 2,000 million years ago, oxygen began to flood the atmosphere. Origin of life. The last phase of the evolution of the earth relates to the origin of the evolution of life. It is undoubtedly clear that the initial or even the atmosphere of the earth was not conducive for the development of life. Modern scientists refer to the origin of life as kind of chemical reaction, which first generated complex organic molecules and assembled them. This assemblage was in such a way that it could duplicate themselves, converting inanimate matter into living substance. The record of life that existed on this planet in different period is found in the rock in a form of fossils. This microscopic structure closely related to the present form of blue algae, which have been found in geological formation that are much older than these were some 3,000 million years ago. It can be assumed that the life began to evolve sometime 3,800 million years ago. I hope you got the lesson. Thank you.